For many high school wrestling teams, it's about time to make the transition from the regular season to the postseason. The start of the District 3 Team Championships is just around the corner. But first, it's time to wrap up some regular season business. That's what Central Dauphin and Chambersburg will do tonight in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Battle next on High School Sports Live. Good evening, everybody. John Reps along with George Hartwick. We're here at Central Dauphin High School, ready to bring you another evening of live wrestling action from High School Sports Live, presented by our two premier sponsors, PHFA, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, and Select Medical. George, two division rivals like this, when you look at their common opponents this year, their results are almost identical. So when you look at that, would that statistical closeness translate into a good competitive dual meet tonight?
Yeah, well, we're at Central Dauphin. No strangers on the statewide wrestling scene, and we're here with the common opponents being only a couple of points apart, being Cumberland Valley. I got a chance to peek into the strategy session a little earlier and do a little due diligence, and I suspect today there's going to be a lot of bumping from Central Dauphin. Chambersburg's lineup has been pretty consistent, but I believe it's going to be a very close match. They're talking about bonus points being the separator, and if strategy is a major issue, we heard about Chambersburg's head coach being removed from the gym earlier in the junior high game. Well, you got Booker and Swags that are going to be here with strategy on CD's side, so stay tuned at home. You're in for a barn burner.
Last year down at Chambersburg, Central Dauphin came away with a 42-21 win, but tonight we're at Central Dauphin, and it's senior night, so we'll see how the Rams and the Trojans play out. It's coming your way next on High School Sports Live.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two. It's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
I am anything I want to be.
I am one of the faces of Commonwealth Charter Academy.
I go to school online, tuition free.
I learn best at my own pace.
My own pace.
I see school differently. I learn from anywhere.
From anywhere. I'm an artist.
I'm a musician.
I am an athlete. I am anything I want to be. And I won't stop learning. I am CCA.
Join me today at ccaeducate.me.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact the great team at NovaCare Rehabilitation or Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, we are your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Visit our website to schedule an appointment at one of our convenient community-based locations or call 800-770-6682.
Here at Central Dauphin, getting ready for Central Dauphin and Chambersburg in a Mid-Penn Commonwealth battle tonight. It's almost the end of the regular season here, George. The District 3 team championships are going to be starting up next week. Matches through this Saturday night will count in the rankings and the pairings for at least 16 teams in AAA and 8 in AA will be announced on Sunday. So
it'd be exciting to bring it to you live. I mean, the idea of the best wrestling in District 3. We know we have a statewide audience, and we know it's playing out from everywhere. District 11, District 1, the Whippeal. All of us are going to be excited to see who comes out and then obviously makes it to represent our regions and our districts and states. But District 3 has had perennial powerhouses finishing in the top 2 or 3 over the past several years. And in the gym we're at tonight, I think 3 straight state titles, team championship titles with Central Dauphin. So no stranger to success. It wasn't long ago where we were in this gym where we witnessed the first loss ever by Central Dauphin in a dual meet. We don't have that kind of Central Dauphin team this year, but when we talk about the elementary school programs, the middle school programs, this is a solid team, which I can rest assured will be peaking at the right time for the District 3 championships.
And we're talking about the district championships coming up and taking a look at the district rankings right now. 2 highly ranked teams here tonight. Central Dauphin comes in ranked number 3 in AAA. Right behind them at number 4 is Chambersburg. And, you said this might not be the same quality team that Jeff Swaggart's had here in the past, but you kind of expect to see Central Dauphin up there in the top of the rankings. But is it at all a surprise that Chambersburg has done as well as they have so far?
Chambersburg is always perennially bringing in a solid team. Never one that has really reached the levels of a Central Dauphin, Cumberland Valley, the kinds of perennial powers that are in every year, but they have been building, and I've seen some individual superstars that have done well, and this year it looks like it's the team of brothers, the Nichter brothers and the Runshaw brothers, younger generation, freshmen and sophomores that, quite frankly, could build this team to be a powerhouse, and you could be looking at the semifinal matchup of the District 3 AAA team championship right here. So it's going to be exciting, probably the best match that we've televised all year, and it's one, again, with a lot of strategy. And it looks forward to a really exciting nail-biter for a crowd that is never too shy to be screaming and yelling at my fellow officiating crew. So tune in. You got the best seat in the house.
Again, CD Rams are on the mat. They're getting warmed up here, and we'll be ready for live action coming up in just a couple of minutes after introductions and the national anthem. So while we're still waiting, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more from Central Dauphin coming up on High School Sports Live's Live Wrestling tonight. Central Dauphin, the Rams, and the Trojans of Chambersburg.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case, Construction, and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Back at Central Dauphin, finishing up the introductions of the potential wrestlers tonight. And everybody's coming to their feet as we get ready for the playing of our national anthem. National anthem at Central Dauphin. So getting ready for the Rams and the Trojans tonight on the mat. And George, one of the big stories so far before the first match even gets underway is the coaching situation. You're talking about how things are going to get bumped around. In Chambersburg without their coach tonight. Matt Menzer asked to leave the gym during the junior high match tonight. So what that's going to do to the Trojans and their perhaps their potential lineup matchups?
Well, I'm sure he, outside of the gym at some point, has given directions related to bumping around in matchups. And there was no more important thing tonight, I think, than that coin toss. As close as this match is going to be, who's required to send their wrestler out first and how those matchups work out could be a real predictive factor in who and how these matches are going to actually fare out. So I know they're strategically going to find the best matchups to try to reduce the exposure to bonus points. Again, I believe Chambersburg is really strong in the in the middle weights, where Central Dauphin has an advantage in the lower and upper weights. But where Chambersburg is good, they're really good, and they stand a chance to earn significant bonus points.
We talked about the common opponents. The one main common opponent in Mid-Penn Commonwealth is Cumberland Valley. And earlier this season, Cumberland Valley defeated Chambersburg. Cumberland Valley also defeated Central Dauphin. So we are underway at 126 pounds with our first match of the evening.
If it is... They are two exhibition matches. As we can see, the first one ended in short order. Second one right up here, and then right afterwards we're going to start with the 126-pound weight class and move right into the regular match.
Okay, so let's expand while this is going on, George, a little bit more about the coaching situation with Chambersburg. You're saying the flip of the coin is important, and you kind of is like a baseball manager. You have your lineup together, but you make adjustments during. So will that play out at all for Chambersburg?
It certainly will. But when I look at Chambersburg roster, they have a far shorter bench. They're not going to be able to flip a whole lot of individuals just based upon the consistency and the solidness of the lineup. Where Central Dauphin, they've got a significantly larger number of kids to be able to choose from. They're actually breaking out the turnover chains over here. I didn't know CD had the turnover chain this year, reflective of the Miami University's turnover chain. So I guess anybody who earns bonus points may be able to put on the chain for the night. So, but yeah, again, talking with Swags and Booker in the back, Coach Swagger. It looks like it's going to be a real test of who they can get the matchups against, how they can reduce their exposure to bonus points, and how they can get the best chance with their wrestlers who are the hammers to be able to earn those bonus points tonight.
You're talking about common opponents, and this is really the last divisional matchup in Commonwealth. Both Chambersburg and Central Dauphin took on Big Spring, Carlisle, Harrisburg, and State College. Both won those four matches quite easily. The ones that were really contested, though, Cumberland Valley defeated Chambersburg by a score of 36-33. The Eagles of CV knocked off Central Dauphin 32-25. And then in the Mifflin County matchup, Chambersburg came away with a 1-point win there, 34-33, and defeated Mifflin County. Chambersburg defeated Mifflin County by 1, and then Central Dauphin defeated Mifflin County 35-26. So two tight matches, both were, wins, losses the same way, scores almost identical. So as we were talking earlier, when you look at that, it looks like we should have a very competitive match here tonight.
Sure, and again, even as you see the difference in the score from Mifflin County, which I suspect, it looked like Central Dauphin has had more actual points in that match. Actually, they have less points, but more points and a bigger spread. I think, again, they were able to bounce around, get the right matchups, and win those toss-up matches, as well as figure out a way to earn bonus points in order to stretch it out. I think they're going to employ that same type of strategy this evening.
You're getting ready here for period number 2 of this exhibition match, which to use another baseball terminology, a curveball thrown at us. We weren't quite expecting this.
Well, what I always tell my daughter, it's not how you respond when things are going well, but when things are a challenge that really reveal your character. And again, hopefully we'll be able to help provide some context for our viewers at home about certainly the scope and the importance of tonight's match and the matchups and how we believe it's going to come down to the wire, probably the last match, definitely the last two matches tonight. So you'll be interested the entire time. And yes, for the first time this year, we will have a full lineup with no forfeits. So it will be a full match.
That will be welcome. Instead of having a match and being out of the gym in about an hour, maybe it'll take an hour and a half or two to deciding.
The officials don't really appreciate that. They like to get off early, but the fans certainly get their money's worth in a situation like this. And from a wrestling fan and a true purist of wrestling, I'd like to see two full teams, two solid lineups, and let the best team win.
Another statistical oddity while we have the time to talk about it here is we're saying how Cumberland Valley defeated both of these teams earlier in the season, but yet coming in here tonight, Central Dauphin comes in ranked number 3 in the district power rankings. Chambersburg comes in at number 4. And despite the fact that Cumberland Valley defeated both of these, the Eagles come in right now, as of this afternoon, at only number 12 in the 16-team bracket.
Yeah, that's awful strange to me. The only prediction I have of that is that Cumberland Valley has probably lost a wrestler or two along the way, where that has decreased their ability to have power rankings, because obviously schedule strength plays a big role when you're looking at even ranking at college basketball or college wrestling. Depends upon your quality of opponents. You may have a loss or two, but if you're wrestling higher quality opponents and giving close matches and certainly putting yourself in a position to win, it should not decrease your positioning in the rankings. So I'll be interested to see with 2 victories over both the 3 and 4 team how Cumberland Valley fares in the District 3 AAA team titles.
And there's still a lot of wrestling to go. We have some matches tonight. We have some matches on Saturday.
Yep.
As we were saying earlier, matches contested through Saturday will count in the district pairings. And those will be announced on Sunday as we come to end of period number 2 here in this final exhibition match. So we mentioned that Central Dauphin and Chambersburg come in at 3 and 4. Number 1, Mannheim Central. Number 2, Spring Grove right now. And on the double A side, right now it's currently Upper Dauphin, followed by Bishop McDevitt, and then Northern Lebanon. So a lot of teams, there's going to be a lot of jockeying for position, especially down in the lower rankings here. Right now, Governor Mifflin is number 16 on the AAA side, but they could get bumped out by Reading and perhaps Redland. So I know that the rankings changed this morning based on last night's results. They're probably going to change a little bit tomorrow morning based on tonight's results. And don't be surprised if you look at them Saturday and they're completely different again on Sunday based on what takes place on Saturday. So it's kind of fun. It's like scoreboard watching. You sit here and say, oh, this team is here. They dropped 2. They moved up 4. But, one result one way or another could really change things around. And so we'll see what the final picture looks like when those pairings are finally announced on Sunday. And while we're talking about the district team, especially AAA, we're happy to announce that we will be bringing live the District 3 AAA championships a week from Saturday. That'll be at the Spartan Center on the campus of Milton Hershey. So we could perhaps see some of these teams, depending on how the pairings and the seedings come out. They could meet in the semifinals, I think, as you said. Who knows? Maybe we'll see one of these teams again in about 10 days in the finals.
Right, and you talk about trying to control your own destiny. I guess the teams that you laid out in the proverbial bubble get a chance to control their own destiny with these final 2 matches. And I wouldn't want to be in that District 3 pairing room on Sunday. And I'm sure there'll be a great article written on Monday morning about the discussions, who's in and who's out. But the only thing that can be controlled by these 2 teams and the other teams across the district is how they perform and how they're able to move up on that power rankings in order to ensure their spots.
Well, one thing I have to hand the PIAA is whenever you come up with decisions like this, you basically put the numbers in the computer, and the computer comes out with a set of statistics and says, this is the way it plays out. It's not really like the NCAA football selection where you take everything into consideration and it comes down to a vote.
There's no eye test. And there's no schedules. I guess schedule strength is a part of this. I'd really like to see a little bit more about the criteria in the selection process and what goes into the statistics.
Okay, so that's the end of our second and final exhibition match tonight. So we should be getting ready now for the start. Let's
big coin toss.
And Central Dauphin is the winner of that.
Big. That's big. They're excited.
And we, as you said, are getting started. And tonight it will be at 126 pounds. We expect to see Cole Grove on the mat for the Chambersburg Trojans.
Official Brian Swartz, a long-time official. I think he's been doing it now 24 years with a little bit of a ZZ Top look out there in the middle of the mat. He's from the Carlisle chapter.
And for Central Dauphin, it's going to be Chris Wright against Cole Grove. So Jeff Swigert's sending out one of his hammers right off the bat in Chris Wright.
And Cole Grove is no slouch himself with a record of 13-2. As you talked about, Chris Wright may be competing for, based upon the numbers that we saw, one of the all-time leading wins for Central Dauphin in a long list of great Central Dauphin wrestlers. Again, two quality wrestlers. You've got one with a record of 13-2, and you've got Mr. Wright with a record of 16-0.
Chris Wright, more than 160 wins in his career here at Central Dauphin.
Nice high crotch, switches to a double, crosses over and gets to first two. A little slow and feeling each other out, but Chris Wright not indecisive in any way. Going right from a high crotch, switching it off to a double, having a nice lift and bringing his opponent back down to the mat. Now in control, cross wrist tilt. You might hear that a lot tonight.
I was wondering how many matches, and it was the very first one, first period.
There
Good job.
And then he's able to actually trap the arm, and if he can squeeze down in the right way and get his hips up there, stands a chance of pinning. Now switches to a bar, takes the other hand, and is going to run it. Official Brian Swartz, not to the delight of the crowd, but you have to run that across the back and not place that pressure too hard over the top. He calls potentially dangerous. Match now 5-0, Chris Wright.
Final 20 seconds. This 126-pound match being brought to you by Select Medical.
Cole Grove doing a good job of fighting hands. Chris Wright now again with a cross wrist hold. He's going to be able to fight off a good stand-up attempt right here at the end of the first period. Remaining in control, 5-0 at the end of the first.
You had mentioned Cole Grove, no slouch. One of his losses earlier this year was to Dalton Rohrbaugh of Spring Grove. And Dalton is committed to Lock Haven. So, as you said, no slouch, and one of his two losses so far this year.
Lock Haven, one of the success stories this year for one of the old EWL teams, Eastern Wrestling League. Great back in the day under Coach Neil Turner and then Carl Poff and then the Bonomos, and now back to national prominence with a number of wrestlers from here in central Pennsylvania.
We touched upon that in one of the earlier telecasts. Thomas Haynes and Shoot from Boiling Springs and Chance Marsteller.
Yep. Right in now on another high crotch, unable to switch it quick. Good job by fending it off, Cole Grove. Double underhook by Wright. Grove really just locking him out here. Out of bounds.
Both of these guys have a penchant for pinning. Cole Grove comes in with 7 pins so far this season. Chris Wright comes in with 8, and 5 of those 8 were in less than a minute.
Yeah, that was really nice. Now he's got to finish. Great shot by Cole Grove. Immediately a reshot by Chris Wright. Great counter attack there, extending his lead to 7-0. Now throws a boot in. trying to lock out. Spread eagle. That's what we used to call it anyhow. So some folks refer to it, as we said last week, as the banana split. Very difficult to get, and quite frankly used often by leg wrestlers as a stall tactic. Now he's working the arm, trying to put it behind his head, and again, not a whole lot. Colgrove doing a good job keeping his head away, shoulder pinned to the mat. Looks like Chris Wright is happy with riding these legs out through the end of the second period.
So impressive start, first 2 periods for Chris Wright of Central Dauphin, as he's up by a score of 7-0 in our first bout. Here's another look. And back to live action, third period.
Wright selecting the defensive position to begin the third period. Grove just putting a claw ride in here. He needs to break down Chris Wright if he's going to stop him from escaping. He's got doing a good job of pressure forward. Wright still posting his hands on the mat, now puts a knee down. Trying to work the hands from top position, control hands. Good job by Grove, forcing his head into the mat. Good job by Grove. And again, this is a critical point when we talk about bonus points in a close match. Really needs to get out here and escape. He must have heard me and heard the chants of his teammates across the bench and the fans here. Does earn one now to extend the lead to a major decision position of 8-0. Colgrove not backing away at all. Got to be careful here. Great toss down. Snap and throw by.
Final half minute. Probably not much that Chris Wright hasn't seen. In his previous 3 years, 3-time place winner at PIAA individuals, 7th as a freshman and 4th both last year as a junior and the year before that as a sophomore. See if he can improve upon that this year.
Chris Wright very technically sound. I think sometimes Swags wants him to open up, as you see. That could be big. That is very big at the end of this period, and there is not a happy bench over here. So that's the type of thing in a match like this that could really turn the tides.
That's going to make the final score 8-2. We're underway here at Central Dauphin. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hit the road with Jack.
Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
So it's 3-0 Central Dauphin as we move on to 132 pounds. It's going to be Andrew Wirt taking on Seth Renshaw of Central Dauphin.
That's Wirt from Central Dauphin.
Central Dauphin is Seth Renshaw of Chambersburg. Yep. Andrew Wirt of Central Dauphin.
Andrew Wirt, another one of those guys with more than 100 wins. Right now with a 15-1 record. After wrestling really tough competition. Earns the first 2 takedown over Seth Renshaw. Wirt controlling a far wrist. Nice far side cradle. Locks it up tight. Head in the side. It looks like he's got him solid. He's now coming down, pushing down on the opposite. There it is.
There it is. 53 seconds left in the opening period. Andrew Wirt of Central Dauphin, a winner by fall. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact the great team at NovaCare Rehabilitation or Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, we are your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Visit our website to schedule an appointment at one of our convenient community-based locations or call 800-770-6682.
So Central Dauphin with its two hammers out early in the first two matches, and they are off to a 9-0 lead as we now move to 138 pounds. It's going to be
Spencer Runshaw from Chambersburg versus Bryce Buckman from Central Dauphin. Spencer Runshaw trying to exact some revenge for his brother's pin in the last match. Earns the first takedown with a nice single leg. Nice cross wrist tilt that wasn't able to stabilize and stop him for two. Be careful, he's got to grab only, got to have at least 4 fingers. Good job of maintaining control by Spencer Runshaw. To go out of bounds with 1:05 left. Runshaw leading over Bryce Buckman 2-0.
When you look at the start that Central Dauphin got off to tonight, I don't know, is there another team in the state that could possibly send out 2 more accomplished wrestlers?
No, than
Jeff Swaggart did here tonight by sending out Chris Wright and Andrew Wirt.
He's had a couple of those types of back-to-back wrestlers in here over the years, but not too many better tandems with more victories than those two combined. But again, a little bit disappointing, unable to get bonus points there. That could come back to haunt Central Dauphin. Riding out this period. Controlling the far wrist. Now on the ankle, needs to work forward. Really just riding here. Now he's got a leg in. Looks like he'll be allowed to ride it out through the end of the first period.
So Spencer Renshaw of Chambersburg comes up with a 2-point opening move in the first period. He is a junior, taking on freshman Bryce Buckman of Central Dauphin. So it's Runshaw with a 2-0 lead as we move to period 2 at 1:38.
These guys look smaller in 38 than I remember. It's that, and I was a far cry from that weight class, right?
This match brought to you by Capital Region Insurance Agency.
Runshaw selecting the defensive position to begin the second period. Buckman now trying to work a ball and chain. Now trying to come in, dig the elbow for a tilt. Now Runshaw does a good job of hooking Buckman's outside leg. He's got to free that or either dive underneath and try to come out on the top. Suspect that the referee will call a stalemate if this continues. There it is. Runshaw does a good job of separating a leg from the body, getting an arm between the body, and now going up 4-0. Got another cross wrist tilt. They're really pulling the Central Dauphin wrestlers over, but they're not stabilizing on the backside of that cross wrist tilt. And it's no secret that CD practices this hundreds of times in the wrestling room, so they not only know how to apply it, but they also know how to defend.
Before the night's over, you may say cross wrist tilt about 100 times.
Well, it doesn't help that Chambersburg is also using the cross wrist tilt here. Digging a one-on-one out from underneath and now trying to claw. Really, again, just has his leg in, not doing a whole lot.
So, end of period 2. Runshaw extends his lead. It's now 4-0 as we head to period number 3. George, we talked about Cumberland Valley earlier tonight. The Eagles taking on Carlisle, and a win by Cumberland Valley tonight. And the Eagles will wrap up the Mid-Penn Commonwealth title. If Carlisle should happen to pull the upset and win, then the Eagles will share the Commonwealth title with the winner of this match.
Eagles beat both teams, so by rights, I don't know if Carlisle's going to pose much of a threat to Cumberland Valley tonight.
Highly improbable, but you never know.
Always interested to see, though, what it looks like when they come back through this District 3 team tournament with team victories over both Chambersburg and Central Dauphin, how that matchup might play out, if it happens.
So we have a
injury timeout.
Having back pain? Get a free copy of our book, Back to Normal, at maddenpt.com/freebook. And High School Sports Live is proud to partner with Mazziti and Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across central Pennsylvania since 1983. Visit them at mazzitiandsullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. That's Mazziti and Sullivan. We listen, we help. So that little bit of blood time is now over. Things back wrapped up, and we are going to get back to action here. 132 left in our 138-pound match.
4-0.
Spencer Runshaw of Chambersburg with the advantage, trying to get the Trojans on the board.
He tries a tilt situation right off the jump. In control of this match, really not any strong attempts by Bryce Buckman. Surprised Spencer Runshaw has been allowed to ride the leg as long as he has, but bottom guy isn't doing anything either. In this case, official Brian Schwartz calls the bottom man for stalling, and just as I say that, Runshaw uses a tilt situation there in 2 near fall.
So you're talking bonus points, and we said if he can make that move one more time, it gets it into the major decision category.
And he really has used his cross wrist tilt well. He got 2. He gave him 2. Said he had 2.
So now it's 8-0.
Again, we talked about bonus points and how much they mean. Both times seems to be going Chambersburg's way.
CD missed out on one. Chambersburg could pick up one right here, so it could be a 2-point swing. 10 seconds.
Looks like Spencer Runshaw will exact some revenge for his brother and earn a bonus point for Chambersburg.
Spencer Runshaw, an 8-0 winner at 138. Watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers. All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
So Chambersburg is now on the board. They trail Central Dauphin by a count of 9-4. And we now move on to our 145-pound match.
Looks like from Central Dauphin, we have I'm having a trouble discerning the.
Looks like it's Spencer Black.
Okay, Spencer Black for CD, and then we've got
Tate Nichter.
Tate Nichter, the freshman, coming in at 14-3 for Chambersburg. Earns the first takedown quickly. And again, now we're really getting to the meat of the lineup. And again, CD's sending out Spencer Black. Again, he was not somebody who we expected to see in this position. His victory tonight is to stay off his back and try not to give up any bonus points. Taking even more of an initiative. Get a quick one escape in that match. Tate Nichter then around for 2. And again, Chambersburg looking for a pin here against 0-3 Spencer Black. Hearing a lot of cheers, trying to encourage Spencer Black on, doing a good job of trying not to get turned in this first period. The Nichter brothers really look like wrestlers. Both of them built well. And we say this about competitive brothers in wrestling, but again, don't replace the furniture. Trying to get out front, pull the arm out, and then thread the needle. And good job by Spencer Black in fending that off.
Well, according to the latest information available by PA Wrestling today, it looked like Tate Nichter of Chambersburg has won his last 5 matches by pin.
Looking to do that again tonight.
11 pins coming into tonight, including the last 5 in a row. 7 of them were in the first period. 7 of those 11.
Trying to work a one-on-one, has it dug out in the back. Needs to figure out switch hands. Then needs to keep that parallel. Bump his hips a little bit. He needs to keep it against the body. He cannot pull that away from the body. Does a really good job of threading it, taking it slow. And he's got it tight. This looks like it could be it. There it is.
There it is, a pin by Tate Nichter at Chambersburg at 145. Watching live high school wrestling. Presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
So after 2 wins in a row now, Chambersburg on top of Central Dauphin by a score of 10-9. And we move on to 152. This match presented by Mazziti and Sullivan. And on the mat we have Carson Mello of Chambersburg taking on Hunter Bentz of Central Dauphin.
This ought to be a good match. 7-0. Carson Mello, sophomore from Chambersburg. Hunter Bentz, 12-3, a junior from Central Dauphin. This ought to be one of those matches that critically important, and do not know why Carson Mello only has 7 bouts this year. Looks like all 5 were won by decisions.
All decisions for Mello. Five decisions and 2 majors.
Got a takedown, first one.
George, what's the feeling here in the gym right now? I mean, Central Dauphin sends out their 2 hammers and they get out to a 9-0 lead, but now all of a sudden they're down 10-9. They're down in this match, and as you said, their best wrestlers have already performed tonight.
Yeah, well, I told you that early on it was going to be a Central Dauphin. They needed to win bonus points, and Chambersburg has really one of the more solid lineups to the middleweights of any other team in District 3. So, you know, not unexpected. And again, they're doing their job of earning bonus points. So far, by my count, I've got CD -2 in the areas that that might have cost them so far. And CD's crowd is really filled in here nice. Chambersburg also at the edge of their seat.
So 2-0 lead for Carson Mello at 152. Chambersburg wrestler takes that advantage into period 2 at 152. We had mentioned that Cumberland Valley has a chance to wrap up the Mid-Penn Commonwealth tonight. Cedar Cliff has already clinched the Keystone. Camp Hill with a win tonight can wrap up the Capital, and Boiling Springs, the champion of the Colonial Division in Mid-Penn.
Good job by Hunter Bentz with a lift back down to the mat. Bentz trying to scoop in a leg. I can feel the CD crowd really, you know, wanting something to cheer for here. Everything that goes well, I hear their anticipation getting greater and greater.
Our location here right next to the Central Dauphin bench, and the guys on the bench are really into this match.
Yeah. This is one of those toss-ups again. Hunter Bentz doing a good job of control on top, keeping the weight forward, and again, on elbows and heads here, he needs to be able to reach down and grab those hands. Does Mello, create some space, put 1 and 2 moves together. And again, attempt there by Hunter Bentz. Now he's got a cross wrist tilt. Up, he's got to be careful, doesn't want to pin himself. There he goes, comes over. Referee Brian Swartz got to watch both sides there. Very difficult to see a defensive pin and then also do the back point counting, so.
And off the mat they go, so they're going to take it back out to start this one. Still 2-0 in favor of Carson Mello.
Again, now working a one-on-one. Really not doing a whole lot. I don't think bottom guy is doing a whole lot either, so.
Both expended a lot of energy there at that burst at the start of the second period. Perhaps just trying to get to the third period and catch their breath.
Yeah, and really Bentz's goal here is with Mello selecting the bottom position to try to finish riding him out here. He earns a stalling warning against Mello. Not only rides him out, but puts a stalling warning on the Mello as he goes into the third period.
Here's this almost pin. Another look at this.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Referee got down there in time. I don't think a 2 count. But again, it's hard to count criteria and check to see if the scapular on the mat.
So a very entertaining bout here at 152, presented by Mazzidi and Sullivan. 2-0. Mello of Chambersburg leading Bentz of Central Dauphin.
And surprisingly, Bentz must really like his position from the top. He's down 2-0, and he chose the offensive position to begin the third period. Was unsuccessful in turning Mello in the second period, but feels that he came close enough. He wants to give it another shot. And again, Mello not making the same mistake by staying on the bottom of the mat. Ben still trying to keep the leg in, and no, he still maintains control going out of bounds. Mello doing a much better job at the beginning of second period. They're trying to work to get out. Now Ben's doing a good job for pressuring forward. But again, he is down 2 points, so he needs to work towards a turn here really quickly. Get it on the board. And not a whole lot of action here. Top guy needs to work for the turn. Bottom guy needs to get his head off the mat. Neither guy really trying to take a significant amount of initiative, doing just enough from both sides not to get hit for stalling.
And just keep the clock going.
And it's not good enough for Bentz to be able to ride him out here. He needs to turn him. Again, even if he does get the stalling call, which he may, it still is only a 1-point match.
So 43 seconds left. Carson Mello of Chambersburg trying to hold on to a 2-0 lead over Hunter Bentz of CD.
That's again onto the ankle, and he stops Mello, but he's got to start working forward. The bench is yelling here for a stalling warning. But again, bench really needs to work towards a turn here. Now looking for a near side or far side cradle.
20 seconds.
And again, a 2-on-1 is not going to work. He's got to start working turns. Bottom guy is not doing a whole lot.
There's the 1 point. It's 2-1.
Too little, too late. Oh, there you go, 1, 2. Oh, yeah! I said too little, too late. Hold on. That's going to be it. We got to go to the timekeeper. How this works for folks at home. They've got to keep the guys at the center of the mat. The referee has to go over to determine whether or not that was 2 points. The actual home clock keeper is the one who makes the determination here whether or not he's threw up the 2 points prior to the clock running out.
2 points, it's good.
Conferred with the home scorekeeper as defined by the rules. And at the end, a switch for Hunter Bentz. Hunter Bentz really turns things around, and that was a big match.
Big match for closing seconds.
CD fans erupting. There's the Bentz family up there pointing at each other. I know them well. Exciting match. And a really big turn of events there at the end of the period. He rode him out long enough. Boy, that's not the way I want to win matches, but I'm surely glad it was on TV and it's exciting for the crowd, but not the way you want to plan it out.
He must have heard you, George. He was saying, you know, he's going to run out of time, but he didn't. He actually got it. So we now move on to our 160-pound match.
It's Drake Brenzy.
Brennies.
Drake Brennies from Chambersburg. And then we've got Timothy Smith from CD.
So that dramatic win by Bentz puts the Rams back on top. They now have a 12-10 advantage.
But advantage heading back towards CD here. Drake Brennies, a senior with a record of 12-2, in on the leg. Timothy Smith. Timothy Smith, a freshman, however, comes in with a record of 4-0.
Brenice comes in 12-2 with 5 pins. One of his 2 losses to a wrestler we saw earlier, Lower Dauphin's Clayton Ulrey, back at the end of December.
Nice lift. He's got to bring him down. Maintains control.
This 160-pound match brought to you by Groff Tractor.
Has been an exciting one so far.
So far.
Going his build.
The crowd's starting to get into it.
Brenice working a one-on-one. Again, pressuring forward. Now has a bar in. Catches the far arm. Great job by Smith clearing his arm. Now he grabs it again. Now it switches to a hammerlock. Out of bounds line is going to be Timothy Smith's friend. Out of bounds with 24 seconds remaining.
So Brenice bumps up a weight class here. A couple weeks ago at the Escape the Rock tournament down at Council Rock South, he finished 7th in the 152-pound class, and now he's wrestling at 160 tonight. So we have a little bit of blood time. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more from Central Dauphin right after this.
The Advanced Tubes training staff features Division I level instructors and coaches who have played professionally. Charlie Fortney's shooting instruction has proven transformational for players in South Central PA. Gerald Jarman takes players to the next level in his dribbling and crossover intensity classes. Archie Smith teaches intent, speed, and agility and is very motivational. 6'9" Duke McCamey is excellent at teaching young post player technical skills around the basket.
Over 30 years of Division I and professional experience. It doesn't get any better than that.
Back to live action, 160 pounds here at Central Dauphin. The Rams leading the Trojans 12-10. But it's Blake Brenice of Chambersburg on top of Timothy Smith, 2-0 as we start period number. Finish up period number 1.
Both guys with a fresh set of lungs, going out there very active in the first or the final 19 seconds of the match. Brenice maintaining control. Brenice with the choice, he defers. Timothy Smith selects neutral to begin the second period.
Good look at the coaching brain trust there for Central Dauphin, led by Jeff Swaggart, longtime coach here of the Rams.
Brenice in on a single. Smith trying to grab the inside leg. Needs to still wrestle and cannot go out. Brenice doing a good job of bringing Smith back to the center. Lifts up high. Brings Smith back down to the mat. Earns the first or second 2. Four to nothing. Brenice hasn't had much trouble controlling from the top position. However, not really working for turns, just really working to ride here. Now he goes ahead and grabs an arm, tries to scoop under with his leg, unable to secure it. Now bar applied again on the far side. He needs to jump to that side. Try to run it. Able to secure it, and he does it very well. Great job by Smith sitting up. That's actually... That was very close to a scissors situation. You've got to wait. No legs can touch as you're bringing somebody into criteria until he's into criteria, and then you need to apply a figure 4. You can't scissors the head ever. Coach yelling that it was his legs touched and prohibited him from sitting up and getting out.
Closing seconds, period 2 at 160.
Stalling, Timothy Smith.
Blake Ren-Eyes of Chambersburg will take 4-0 advantage into period number 3. A win will put the Trojans back on top.
Ren-Eyes selecting defensive position. Smith now keeping the leg, stays in control. Has to be careful. Can't throw him off the edge of the mat. Ren-Eyes to his feet. Smith brings him back down. Really long is Timothy Smith. Able to wrap arms around without locking him. Now trying to work a near side half. That's to stay off of that headgear. Ren-Eyes to his feet, out of bounds.
1:18 to go.
Tried that near side cradle way too quickly. As soon as Ren-Eyes felt it, he actually worked his way out, faced him, created some space, and then turned away and got out to his feet. Extends his lead to 5-0. Guys just pulling each other up. First shot I saw by Smith. Again, he's so long, you'd want him to shoot. He could probably score from anywhere, but right now he's got his head trapped, not in a good position. Ren-Eyes trying to keep his hands to the mat and then spin. Smith does a good job of staying in a good position to be able to get back to his feet. Ren-Eyes trying some snaps. Shrug, throw by. Now returns him to the mat. Nope. Oh, yes, he does. Gets 2. Further out of bounds.
Makes it 7. Probably not it. Well, said it once before, not enough time, but
you know, he's going to go neutral here. Going to give up 1, but he needs 2. Again, he's going to the neutral position. He can give up 1, start there. See if he can get a takedown with 4.6 seconds.
It's not going to happen, though. But Blake Ren-Eyes puts the Trojans back in front with a 7-1 decision at 160. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Now we move to 170 pounds as Chambersburg regains the lead over Central Dauphin. It's now 13-12, and we are now at 170. And it's Luke Nectar for Chambersburg.
Sophomore with a record of 15-1 versus Micah Hillegas for Central Dauphin, coming in with a record of 4-1.
This 170-pound match brought to you by Jack Giambalvo.
Again, these Nectar brothers are tough. Boy, he's putting his head close there. Nectar really trying to work here. Both hands. Now's got a really strong half in. Rips him down. Folds his head underneath. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. That doesn't feel good in that spot. He's ripped his head underneath. Has the back arm trapped. And great job fighting that off. Great job. That's not easy to do. Really good fight. Optional start. Micah Hillegas earning his first point escape. Luke Nichter, inside trip try. He's got his head trapped. Yeah, needs to bring him down. Front headlock him. Take that series. He's got a far side underhook. Steps through. Lateral drop. Nice. Really nice.
This could be over.
Right now he's squeezing. Now trying to get that elbow off the mat. Great job. I'll tell you, that's two really good fights. Looking like there was no escape from Micah Hillegas, and now finds himself on his back again. And I don't believe there's an escape from this. Oh, there's the clock. Because I'm going to tell you something. The way that hold was applied, the clock was what saved him there. So 3 times put on his back. Clearly looked like it was going to be pinned. All times ended up both fighting off his back and then the last time saved by the end of the period.
What an opening period by Luke Nichter at 170 as he takes a 13-1 advantage.
And, you know, you have to really take your hat off to Micah Hillegas for fighting off, but Luke Nichter has done what he's wanted to do from the very opening start of this match, including now being able to not only score, but have a near side cradle, and he's going to, there it is!
Luke Nichter, pinning 210 at 170. You're watching Live High School Wrestling, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
So Chambersburg opens up a little bit of breathing room. It's now 19-12 as we move on to our 182-pound match presented by Hoffman Ford.
You've got from Central Dauphin, Jackson, I believe it's Jackson Talbot. Another brother tandem, Mitchell and Jackson Talbot. We've got Jackson Talbot. And then we've got for Chambersburg, Guy Logius. Logius trying to get around for the first 2. Actually, does now. Needs to fix the headgear. Pretty cool celebration there with Drake Ben Ives' 100th victory as we went out. And these are one of these matches where it may not be the matchup of the 2 best wrestlers on the team, but means a lot related to the outcome.
Just you watched Luke Nichter's reaction there when he got that pin. And the way he jumped up, he knew those 6 points were going to be big, perhaps.
No doubt. 2 guys' records, Jackson Talbot. CD comes in with a 9-6 record, a sophomore. Guy Logius, a junior, comes in with a 6-7 record. Jackson Talbot earns an escape. 10 seconds remaining. Oh, had a nice threaded needle there with a front headlock. Could have went down. They were down for a mixer. Referee saying they're out of bounds.
So end of period number 1 at 182. Guy Logius, Chambersburg with a 2-1 lead over Jackson Talbot. The difference in physiques of these two wrestlers is what we like to talk about a lot. They're kind of short and stockier against tall and lanky. I know I always ask you, who has the advantage, George?
And again, for different people, it's different. Some folks like a taller wrestler from a leverage standpoint. I didn't. Difficult to be able to take down, and particularly if you use throws, headlocks, have a great center of gravity and good leverage. Makes it difficult. And when you shoot in on a leg, they're a tall drink of water. And so far, cross wrist tilt here now for 2. Maybe we're starting counting again. Does earn 5, now 3 near fault. Take a 4-2 lead. We hear him yelling, load it up again. And again, when you talk about a tall wrestler, this is where you see an advantage. Now he takes a crossface here, trying to either scoop it up and wrap him from the top or use a far side cradle. Guy Logis. Now back on his feet. Out of bounds. Jackson Talbot still maintains control of the 4-2 lead.
Talbot a sophomore, Logis a junior. At least record-wise, you would have to give the advantage to Talbot, and so far he is on top 4-2.
And on top of the match right now in the offensive position. Actually, warning provided on Talbot. You've got to return him to the mat. It appeared that he drug him out, did not make an attempt to return him back to the mat. See if that stalling warning makes a difference. Good lift. Releases the hands. And again, you can't do anything with your head on the mat. Cross wrist tilt situation here again. He has to have a good pull.
He's just trying to ride it out, and he's going to get to the end of period 2. But he's going to trail Jackson Talbot of Central Dauphin by a count of 4-2. So go to period number 3.
Starting neutral in the 3rd period. Guy Logis selected the neutral position. Again, trying to work the head. Jackson Talbot controlling hands. See that down there, that wrist control, that means so much. Now, bear hug. If you control your hands, you control everything.
Is that one of the intricacies of the sport that's often overlooked?
Yeah, hand fighting is such an important component of the sport. And you never, I mean, there's all kind of ways to get hand control back, from flipping over your wrist. Still just almost giving up the hand control is Guy Logis. Jackson Talbot still maintaining, now leaves it go. Now they're going shoulder to shoulder, which is difficult to score from anybody. Talbot being content with staying in there all day. It's really incumbent upon Logis here to try to score. He selected the neutral position, and he can't do it just by hanging in there on the head. Trying to snap the head of Jackson Talbot down, but not with much success, not really moving him a whole lot. First half shot attempt I saw. And again, Talbot really doing a good job of trying to circle in here. Would do himself well to do so again, he does.
Final half minute.
Again, big match here. Guy Logis again, needs to be the aggressor. Where clock is winding down. He's down 3. I haven't seen one shot attempt in the third period, and really not a whole lot of upper body stuff.
Looks like his goal is to only give up 3 and not 4 or more, and it looks like he's going to do that. It's going to be Jackson Talbot of Central Dauphin, a 5-2 winner by decision at 182. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess.
My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
So things have tightened up a little bit. Central Dauphin now trails Chambersburg by a score of 19-15. We move on to our 195-pound match presented by PHFA.
And we've got Clan Blythe from Central Dauphin. I'm sorry, Cian Blythe from Central Dauphin. And then we've got Jose Chavarria. Chavarria. Blood time.
Right off the bat. Just 27 seconds.
Just look at the matchup here again. We've got Chavarria is a record of 0-7. So at this point, you know, Central Dauphin is looking for some level of bonus points. And you've got Cian Blythe at 16-3, a senior. He's also got 7 falls.
And 3 of those falls have been under a minute, his fastest in 31 seconds.
Boy, he's built really well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I hear folks pronouncing his name as Kean. Yep. Like when I get home, I'm putting the key in the door.
Oh, man. How about we give you the line of the night for that one, George?
No, I think that gets the boo for the night. Cian Blythe now locking up a far side cradle. A minute to go. He's got to be careful that he doesn't take it too quickly. You can either bump the knee out and take it across or roll across the back, which he did. Knee in the side, head in the temple. I think that is all she wrote for Cian Blythe. He's squeezing hard, trying to readjust to get both shoulders. It's really difficult to see from that position, especially with Cian Blythe being big and strong, but and wide down at the bottom. 3 near fall he earns. Blood time again. I think we're just replacing the plug here. Yep. I didn't even see him start to run the clock, so.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Gives both wrestlers a chance, though, to kind of regroup. Final half minute of period 1 at 195.
Trying to work again that cross-face cradle. Both guys now riding out the end of the first period.
So an impressive opening period for Cian Blythe of Central Dauphin, as he's going to have a 7-0 advantage to go to period number 2. Chambersburg on top by 4. And as we move into the part of the lineup which arguably is not the strong point for the Trojans.
Yes. Has a one-on-one over there. Tries to pin it against the back. Nothing doing. A half attempt there. Not anything doing there either. Won't be long before I think we see a call for stalling on the bottom here.
You can almost hear the collective moan of the crowd. We had such action in all the other matches, and now this one's just kind of guys are laying around.
Yeah, you got to call the bottom guy here. He's really not doing anything at all. Blythe tried to work a step through there. Now another cross-face cradle. Locks it up. And he showed he wants to walk through. Roll to his back. Actually, the lock was ripped. Again, telltale sign that you are, in fact, stalling when you take a look at the clock.
And the first number on the clock is a big number.
And again, bottom guy clearly just out there stalling. Not doing much of anything. Top guy, based upon the weight, is actually working several things from the outside, trying to bump the guy to the side and score back points.
So after scoring 7 in the opening period, not much took place in that one. We're going to start the third the way we started the second. Key and Blythe. Here's another look. 7-0 lead over Jose Chavarria.
Selecting neutral. And again, without the referee moving it forward, he's going to be content with hanging down here in the bottom. Got to employ stalling to keep the action moving.
It's a major decision range here, so if this score holds up, we will be knotted at 19. The way things are going, it doesn't look like there's going to be much of a change in scoring, does it, George?
No, it doesn't. And again, just you got to call the bottom guy. He's not even attempting to come off the mat. Got his head on the mat half the time. And again, see the first move there? Boom, right to him.
Yeah, just flatten out.
He didn't attempt to do anything. No sit out, no stand, no try to scoot away. Boom, put your head down and lay there. And again, just basing out, but a cross wrist tilt that rolls through. Got to give the top guy credit. He has tried to work throughout this whole match. Bottom guy really did nothing.
It's difficult whenever your opponent's not really doing anything, right? It doesn't really give you any openings. Or
that's why you have to call stalling. You know, you got to open it up. I mean, he stayed on his stomach for 2 straight periods.
So Kean Blythe of Central Dauphin, a winner by this major decision at 195, 9-0. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
So we are knotted up at 19 as we move to the 220-pound match presented by Connections Charter Academy. And at 220, it's going to be Mitchell Talbot against Wyatt Hull of Chambersburg.
Mitchell Talbot coming in with a 10-3 record as a senior. Wyatt Hall, 5-6, sophomore. Match knotted up at 19.
So after 9 matches, we are all squared and we decided in the final 5.
Both guys built solid for 220. We got to be pushing weight.
Mitchell weighed in at 188.9.
And Hall at 221.2. Nice double leg look. Takedown. Mitchell Talbot.
In one of those matches, statistically, it looks like the edge goes to Central Dauphin. Talbot 11-3 with 7 pins.
Yeah, last match you'd figure they'd have got a pin or 5. Locked hands.
Wyatt Hull with a record of 5-6.
Technical violation there on Mitchell Talbot. Gives up 1. At no time when you are in the offensive position can you lock hands around the waist of the defensive opponent. There it is. Great job to bring it down to a tilt. There it is.
Mitchell Talbot
straight to his back. You don't see a fall from that position very often, but it was.
Talbot of Central Dauphin, a winner by pin at 220. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Straight step back and pin.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
So Central Dauphin is now in front by a score of 25-19. We move on to the 285-pound match presented by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Carter Ulrich, a senior from Central Dauphin with a record of 13-1, goes up against, I don't have him on the list.
Malachi Spoonhour, Chambersburg.
Malachi Spoonhour. We don't have a sheet for Malachi.
But we do know he weighed in at 265 tonight.
.285, really a weight where weight can mean something. Ulrich weighs in at 218, qualified for 220. Ulrich giving up here around 45 pounds, 46 pounds here. Let me see. 65. Nice front headlock. Now switches to a single. Not careful to get caught underneath. One thing he wants to be careful of, he doesn't get caught underneath here. Malachi Spoonhour, slow to get up. Squints his eyes and shakes his head as he gets back to the mat. Ulrich now trying to work a front headlock. Really needs to snap him down to the mat. Needs to snap him down, unable to do so. Spoonhour gets his head out, no score in the first period.
Scoreless first period at 2:85. Malachi Spoonhour, Carter Ulrich.
Carter Ulrich selecting the defensive position to begin the second period.
And that's 1 point after just 4 seconds on the escape.
Again, he's got to snap that front headlock down. With all he has, he's got to snap that down in order to do it. Now snake behind. There it is, straight to the back. There it is. There it is.
Carter Ulrich, winner by fall at 285, extends the Rams' advantage. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
So we're done with the heavyweights. We flip it around. We go to the lightweights. A couple of pins here by Central Dauphin at the last couple of matches.
Josh Miller versus Tyler Smith.
At 106. This match presented by the Dauphin County Commissioners.
Both guys scrambling here. See a lot of action. Josh Miller earns the first two. Now takes a crossface. Tries to earn near fall. Has the inside Merkel there. Continues to crossface, keeps that inside leg trapped. Gives it up. There it is. Again, crossface tilt. We're asking for him to have a big pull here.
Josh Miller, a pinning machine of Central Dauphin. 10 pins in his 13 victories this year. He's won 12 of his last of 13. 7 of those pins came in the first period, 3 under a minute. He's in control here.
He's asking him to go for a spladle. Pushes the head down, wants to come across and grab that far leg. Now gets out of the inside leg. Throws a half. 16 seconds to go. He's trying to run it. Grab that far arm. Doesn't have it.
Georgia, Tyler Smith of Chambersburg. You go out to the mat, your team's down by 12, and there's 2 matches to go. You need 6. What's going through your mind?
Hustle, but going up against a tough opponent, you know, I think his mindset is to go out there first to try to get the victory. Don't give up any major points, but obviously he knows it's a tall task for him tonight. Working more confidently than I've seen him before here from the top position. he's got that near ankle hooked. Miller trying to clear the arm. He should work right underneath and actually grab that leg and come through. I mean, he's actually in a better position than he thinks he is there. Now he's trying to pinch him together is Tyler Smith. It still has never given up that wrist control. You can't lock anything up with that. Keeps it the whole way through. A reversal. Now again, working hard to keep him in between the legs. Good job. He's got to grab that far shoulder. He needs to get up out from underneath. Actually still has it laced underneath there. Got a cross face or claw him across. There we go. There you go. Just as I say it.
He's got the earpiece in. He's listening to you, George. Still 10 seconds to go.
He's actually earned 3, but you'd want to see him give up that leg and then try to readjust into a pinning combination. Does a good job.
So it's now 7-0. Impressive opening period by Josh Miller of Central Dauphin. He ends up with a 7-0 advantage as we take another look at the replay on that.
Great
slams
face.
Back down.
Still had that inside leg hook.
Picks up the back points there. Now back to live action.
Tyler Smith selecting the neutral position to begin the third period.
If you take a glance at the Chambersburg bench, you can kind of feel that this one's slipping away.
Yep.
Their body language is like, well, this one's about over, and everybody on Central Dauphin side still up and shouting encouragement.
Tough to beat CD at CD. Another takedown for Josh Miller, extending the lead to 9-0. I don't think Swag's changed that position since I wrestled and he coached. The mean snarl and stare straight down the barrel with the highest intensity.
He's not sitting on the back of the chair.
Yeah, he's such
I've seen
a
him so
battler.
many times by putting his feet on the seat and then sitting on the back of the chair.
You know, he's not only a great wrestling coach, he molds young men. He's just an all-around good example. He lives the way he expects his wrestlers to come to compete every day. True legend of the sport.
Is this the first time we've done a Central Dauphin match without a Peppelman in the lineup?
Maybe. But they're still in the college lineup.
Right.
Be careful with that inside knee. There you go. Good call. Potentially dangerous.
Even the refs listen to you, George. See?
Just got to get around to see it. We always talk about Swags. He knows.
There he is. That's a good shot of Jeff right
Look
there.
at that. That's it.
Glasses on the top of his head and that mean snarl, right?
You know, as tough as he is and the tough love that he gives, I don't know how many wrestlers and students of his come back and talk about what he's meant to their life. And we all want to make things a little better than what we found it, and he's dedicated a lot of his life to kids.
And even though he's got the mean snarl going, he's got to like what he's seeing so far here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he won't give up through the last match, even though they're ahead.
Josh Miller, a 9-0 win at 106. You're watching live high school wrestling, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
Central Dauphin extends its lead now. It's 35-19 as we move on into our 113-pound match presented by Advanced Hoops.
Got Will Sherrar from Chambersburg area versus, looks like
Ty Weathersby.
Ty Weathersby. Ty Weathersby out with a quick takedown. And again, with all the closeness of the matches, this one could really end up with a nice spread.
Just to give a quick recap, Luke Nichter, Chambersburg with a pin at 170, gave his team a 19-12 lead. It's been all Central Dauphin after that. 5 straight wins. And the Rams turn that disadvantage into a 35-19 lead. So we have this and one more match to go.
And again, a nice inside leg hook. Came across to the far shoulder. Doesn't hesitate and turns. And then what I told you before, you want to readjust, get that leg out, and then you want to go ahead and circle with a half to try to readjust in a pinning combination. That's how you want to work that inside leg. Come across, tying it up. Really good position. Fighting back and forth. Gerard still fighting. Weathersby.
Still 20 seconds to go.
He's got it tight. He's really working to adjust and taking a lot of energy out of Gerard down there. He's not giving up. Now readjusted again. That's tight. There it is.
Ty Weathersby, Central Dauphin, winner by pin at 119. You're watching High School Sports Live's live wrestling action, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
It's now 41-19 Central Dauphin as the Rams have taken control of this. We move to our last match of the night. It's going to be at 120 pounds. Anthony Colangelo
versus Mitchell Arch.
Against Mitchell Arch.
Colangelo with a 9-4 record. Mitchell Arch coming in at 13-6. Colangelo, a freshman. Arch, a junior. Nice inside trip. Now to a headlock. Both guys really working out. Nothing yet. Good hold by the official. Great job. Great job by Arch. That was a good series there. Now he's trying to... Oklahoma steps in with that inside leg, locks it up. It's tough to pin from here unless he gets the leg out and readjusts, but a real nifty, and he does. Actually comes on top. Great job by Colangelo, now fighting off his back. Really, really nice series there put together by Mitchell Arch. Now comes across the front. There it is. He again needs to readjust. He needs to readjust. Pull the head, pull the head. Really good pinning position. 30 seconds remaining in the first period.
Still 20 seconds.
Got both arms locked up. There
it
is.
Mitchell Arch of Central Dauphin finishes it off with a pin at 120. Be back to wrap this up. You're watching live high school wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two. It's dinner time. When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
My 3 CCA students love attending cyber school. They love the interaction with the other families, with their teachers, with the other students. The students will learn on the computer. They have live lessons just like the lessons would be in a typical school when you go to it. As a learning coach, my role is to support my students and facilitate their education. The curriculum is very extensive, and so the students are being challenged every single day in their different subject areas. CCA has helped my family to get a quality education, and it has been a wonderful experience.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 717-731-1142.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back to Central Dauphin for the Mazzetti and Sullivan post-match report. And boy, we had a lot of action in this one, George. No forfeits for the first time this year. A lot of action, a lot of pins, a lot of last-second things going on. I tell you, I don't know if I really saw this final score coming, 47-19 in favor of Central Dauphin.
You know what they always say? You want your team to peak at the right time of the season, you know. I think even the coaches thought from Central Dauphin today was going to be a difficult uphill battle. They wanted to try to get the appropriate matchups. But there's something to be said about wrestling your best at the right time, especially as a team. And tonight was truly a team effort. We saw some real interesting plays from a change in personnel perspective, and we saw early on that CD lost a couple of bonus points that, you know, I know they were starting to stress about.
Yeah.
And then they come back and right where the positions that they were supposed to win, they were winning pin after pin after pin, and we see all these CD wrestlers walking around with these chains with the Central Dauphin emblem on them. It shows you how many of the wrestlers actually pinned tonight. They didn't just win, they pinned. When we talk about that, that's significant. That's bonus points, and that's going up against a lineup that is of equal talent and quite frankly had outscored them on many occasions during this season against mutual opponents.
I tell you, at the halfway point, Chambersburg was doing all it could as it had a 19-12 advantage after 7 matches, and then it was all Central Dauphin as they rip off the last 7 matches to win this one again by a score of 47-19. Time to give out some post-match honors here. First of all, our move of the match presented by CRIA, Capital Region Insurance Agency, and it goes to Hunter Bentz.
Hunter there was, we were all talking about him not being able to wait another second. We thought he was going to run out of time there, got a stalling call right at the end, and then was able to actually come across, hold on, earn 2 near fall there right at the end of the period, really which swung some of the things around for Central Dauphin. What a great move, unexpected at the end of that match.
Really, literally like 5 seconds left. Bentz was trailing 2-1, gets that move right at the buzzer to come up with a 3-2 win, and that was at the 152-pound match. Now, we've never done this before, okay? We've never given the move of the match and the wrestler of the match to the same individual, but it's going to happen tonight. You're seeing a first here on High School Sports Live because the wrestler of the match is Hunter Bentz, because George, as you said, just his perseverance and his stick-to-itiveness to realize, you know, time's running out and I have to do something, and he pulled it off and somehow managed to come up with a win.
And I think it was that toss-up match that really twisted the level of confidence. I mean, you got then towards the real meat of the lineup and the ability for CD then to build on that, continue to earn pin after pin, additional bonus points, and then in the end finish with an unbelievable win, 47-19. We thought this thing was going to be separated by a point or two going down the last match. We were promising that the last two matches were going to be key, and CD said at the end of the year, at the time when it matters the most, we're going to tell people in District 3 that you better pay attention to the Central Dauphin Rams, because they are here to make a statement, and they're probably going to make that kind of statement the whole way through the District Team Tournament, where they are no strangers.
And the District 3 Team Tournament starts next week. And we're happy to announce that our next wrestling telecast will be the AAA finals of that District 3 Team Championship. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Mazziti and Sullivan post-match report. Our next telecast, sports-wise, is going to be boys basketball, Middletown and Trinity. That's going to be coming your way on January 30th at 7:30. As we said, we're going to be bringing you the District 3 Team Championship in Class AAA. That's a week from Saturday, February 3rd. That'll be at Milton Hershey School at the Spartan Center. That match will be getting underway at 1 o'clock. So again, thanks to our Invicta crew for bringing you the sights and sounds of this one tonight. Again, Central Dauphin comes up with a big win over Chambersburg by a final of 47-19. With my partner George Hardwick, I'm John Reffitz. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good night.